Why, hello there, my lovelies. That's right, it is I, your host, the god of the underworld himself, Hades. And now, before you ask what you're thinking, I already can tell. Where's Yengai? Why is he not hosting the top 10 list on the thumbnail? Well, let's just say he took a bit of a trip that he didn't exactly plan. So he won't be joining us, but I'm sure he's, having a blast.
What the hell am I doing in this world again? Oh, why? What the hell am I doing in Fortnite land? This is unnatural! Ah!
Yep, completely fine. Hope he liked pork chops. Yes, I can actually see where he is right now, but, shh. Let's not worry about that right now. But we're not here to talk about why Yengai is in Fortnite world version of Monster Hunter. We are here to draw 2019 to a close and welcome 2020 to celebrate how you miserable humans are still alive, laughing at the dumbest people who have ever died the dumbest way possible. And believe me, I would list all of them, but this video would not be allowed to be posted on YouTube, just simply because it would be too large and you would be bored out of your minds. Trust me, I actually tried to share this information with a human once and he died in the first 200. But without further ado, here are top 10 stupid deaths that people actually died from. And yes, you can actually look this up. And there's more. You should also know that instead of just telling you how people died, we're actually going to show you some edited footage, a little bit dramatized for your entertainment, on how these idiots actually died. So here they are, the actual deaths of 10 idiots that actually died. So without further ado, let's begin with, ooh, this is a good one. Aeschylus, the Athenian playwright who actually died because an eagle dropped a tortoise on top of his head. And he actually thought it was a gift from Zeus. Let's have a look.
Oh yes, that last play was an absolute masterpiece. My name, Aeschylus of Athens, shall be named forever, for I shall ascend to be accepted by the gods, and I shall consult the great Zeus himself, for I shall be remembered amongst the stars that I am a masterful playwright. What's that? An eagle? Have you come to bless me, O Lord Zeus? Oh, I accept thy gift, for I am thy servant, who writes plays for thy lord. For I, Aeschylus, will ascend to the great halls Olymp. I like Donald.
Hey, who added the mine turtle from ASDF? It was a tortoise.
I'm sorry, boss. I just thought it was funny.
Oh, Pain, you little devil, you. Oh, yes, it was so much better anyway. But anyway, this one is actually real. This is Empedocles, the idiot poet who actually thought his poetry led him to divinity. And he wanted to be a god, so he decided to jump inside of Mount Etna, an active volcano, just so he could shed off his mortal skin. Let's have a look how he does.
Mr. Empedocles, what exactly are we doing here on Mount Etna?
So easy, my boy.
I have brought you here for a very important moment in history. I, Empedocles, have been in this earth for a long time. I have philosophized, I have traveled, And I now believe it is time for me to leave this world, so that I may ascend to the very gods themselves.
Do you actually hear what you're saying? That sounds pretty crazy.
I know it seems odd to you, my boy, but this is a very important moment in history. I will shed this mortal body, and when I bathe myself in the molten core, I shall ascend like the fires of Mount Olympus. And I shall be alongside the great king of Olympus, Zeus himself. And I want you to be here to witness this.
What are you crazy? No mortal has ever dared to try this idea. You'll be a Tartarus for blasphemy. I mean, the gods will
Be blissful to my faith. And if my body dies, then it shall return to the earth, the blood to the water, the heat for the fire, and the breath to the air. Farewell, boy, and may the gods bless you.
Oh, someone get that kid an Oscar! That was hot! But yes, while this idiot was actually trying to bathe inside of a live volcano, Emperor Qin Shi was trying desperately to save his rule by ingesting mercury because he thought it was a way to make himself immortal. Let's see how that turns out.
What do I do? My empire's in shambles and I'm slowly dying and I want to reign forever. Why is this so miserable? My lord! What do you want? I have so...
But my lord, we have found a solution to your problem.
What is it?
Here, my alchemists have actually developed these new pills made with mercury and other spices. Perhaps with this, you'll be like the gods and your empire will reign forever. Maybe one day you could even rule the world.
Really? My immortality pills? Yes, with this I shall reign forever, and nothing will stop my empire from ever expanding. Give it here, quickly. Yes. I think I feel...
Take a that, you stupid bastard.
I guess one would say Quinn was actually chokingly desperate. And since we're on the subject of royalty, there is actually a Duke of Clarance called George Plantagenet. I can't pronounce English. I do apologize. But anyway, this idiot actually was plotting against his brother, and because of his treason, he thought it would be a great idea to be executed by drinking wine. Let's have a look at how much, shall we? This ought to be interesting.
George Plantagenet, Duke of Clarence, you have sentenced to death for the treason and plots against the crown and corruption of country. How do you seek your sentence to be delivered? Well, I wouldn't mind having less Chris giving me a proper drink so I can win me crown. Well, that seems like a rather odd request, but I shall honor this request. Very well, you shall die by the drowning of wine. Squire, bring me the wine butt.
Isn't it a little too early to celebrate with wine, Your Honor? I mean, he's still... Do it as I say, Squire, and get me the wine butt. Yes, right away, Your Honor. I'm back, Your Honor, and I have brought the wine butt.
Whoa, that's a lot of wine. But why does the barrel have a butt on it? It doesn't matter, you're hallucinating. Now get in the barrel and drown. Well, it's the best way to drown. All right, in we go.
This is really going to be in the history books, isn't it? Unfortunately, it is, Your Honor. This is really gonna be the butt of the joke forever, I swear.
Cheers to you, Your Honor. I would totally drink to that for you being right. But where failure to kill your royal bloodline is laughed at and even executed hilariously, there is an assassin somewhere in England where his legend was crafted forever as the dirtiest killer of all time. Let's have a look at the toilet joke.
Alright, finally. I made it inside of that stupid Edmund's castle. Now I'm gonna find that spoiled brat and kill him. Especially after what he did to my family and my clan. Oh, no. Crap, someone's coming! Where do I hide? Dare I do this? I better hide in here. Finally. I am finally out of that stupid throne room. Now I can finally get on the old John and finally praise myself in peace while I take a golden... Oh no! Why are my bones so... my ass hurts. And centuries from now, the legacy of the crazed butt stabber will be known forever.
And the moral of this story is, check your toilets. You never know when a butt stabber is out to get you. Okay, so as we all know, hate does lead to death. But what happens if your crowd loves you too much? Here we have Draco, an infamous Athenian governor who downright outlawed even stealing an apple and made it punishable by death. Well, let's see how the crowd feels about all this.
My fellow Athenians, I, Draco, am very humbled for this grand audience with you. As you may know, I have downright outlawed even the smallest crime, so no thief can ever hope to even steal the seed of one of your apples without the penalty of death. So you can rest assured that there is not a single harm of justice that will escape the sword of death. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your praise. Whoa, that's a lot. Well, who's throwing all those words? Thank you. Please, no. Thank you. No, please.
Who threw that apple at that guy? I mean,
The records show that he died with nothing but clothes. That would explain the death. I mean, all that head trauma, aside from the suffocation. But seriously, what idiot decided to make an apple a form of affection? But anyway, here's another Greek lawmaker, Charondas, who was actually so stupid that he actually made a law and died trying to uphold it because he actually brought a sword to an assembly even though he himself banned it. Well, let's see how well that goes.
My fellow Greeks, help me with the assistance of vanquishing my foe. He is trying to rob my house and...
Oh, please, Charondas, is it not your law that has banned all weapons in the assembly? You are clearly armed. How do you know that you are not a hypocrite yourself?
Curse the law, for I... Very well, I shall honor the law!
Stupid fool.
I'm sure you all get the point on that one. Live by the sword, die by the sword. But while old Charondas was trying to maintain traditions, this idiot right here in France, let's see, what's his name? Oh, Franz Reichelt. He is actually an inventor who is trying to change the way people wear clothing by turning them into parachutes. And he actually tried to say, oh, this will be revolutionary. I'm going to jump in the Eiffel Tower. Let's see how well that performs.
This is it. I am now finally about to make history. Everyone in Paris will look up to this moment, and they will be wearing my parachute coat. And they will say, what a mad genius he was to have tested his own invention upon himself, and it would work like magic. Monsieur, you do realize that this is probably not going to work, right? Silence, monsieur! I do not care about the risk. And if I was to die today, tell my wife. She is a fat cow and I never loved her. But you're unmarried, Francia. Shut up! This is my moment. Whee!
I'll take two. Go ahead. What's the price tag? Oh, wait. There is no price tag. He didn't even get the chance to put one on. Oh, yes, I'm almost laughing myself to death. Like this poor bastard right here. What's his name? I have it right here. It's on the list. Oh, yes, Thomas Urquhart. Let's see what the joke is.
People on the square! People on the square! There's news to be heard! There is news to be heard!
Oi! What is all the noise that you're making, lad? Seriously, I mean, what is this big news that you're making such a big ruckus about? Oh, did you not hear? Charles II is about to become next in line for the throne. Are you serious? The next in line? Charles II? You mean Charles II as in, I'm about to make the greatest country in the entire region of Scotland. Is that the man you are talking about? Yes, sir. I hope it's not offensive. Hang on, let me try to...
And poor Tom didn't get to hear the punchline.
The king was actually basically the Donald Trump of Old England. And also known as the biggest coward in English monarchy history. But here, as funny as that is, we have saved the stupidest death that would have been hilarious if the nature of it wasn't so disgusting and absolutely atrocious. His name is Kenneth Pinyan, the bastard who tried to recreate the Minotaur incident by horsing around with an actual horse. Of course, due to the nature of this, we're not actually going to show you the footage, but because it is so stupid, we're going to show you the actual court hearing that has actually made bestiality permanently banned in Washington, United States.
Order in the court, order in the court. Now, today's session will take place with a trial of a incident of bestiality on the night of July 2nd, 2005. Now, Mr. P. Stallion, I understand that you were the victim of this situation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I really didn't know anything that happened until the morning after the incident of that night.
I see. And explain what was going on that night. What did you think was going on?
Well, I honestly thought there was one of the mayors that actually came out of nowhere and was trying to sneak into my pen, but I didn't really see anything. So, and there were and I did smell something, and it certainly sounded like a mare, but it was a lot smaller than normal. In fact, I really don't understand what was going on until I woke up that morning with a random guy who was dead. I didn't know what to do, so I yelled. Oh my god! And then just today, I actually found out that I was actually being filmed doing the act. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I had no idea that any of this was happening.
Yeah. I understand your complete frustration, and I most certainly appreciate the bravery that you are displaying on this day.
I just don't want anyone else to suffer the same thing I did. I had no idea what was going on. And I just hope nothing like this ever happens again.
You are free to go, Mr. Stallion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, the verdict is in. I hereby decree that bestiality in the state of Washington, United States of America, is hereby banned, and anyone who attempts to do so will be sentenced to 5 years in prison.
And there you have it, folks. 10 idiots who died the dumbest deaths humanly possible. But don't worry, if this video gets enough likes and a few recommendations on who I should mention next, there will be a sequel on even more stupid idiots, maybe even dumber on the next video. And I promise you, there will be plenty of stupidity within each death. But yes, I will have to part with you. But if you enjoyed this presentation, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, stay healthy and alive, and do not be an idiot. Hades! What did you do to me? Oh, looks like Yenny is a little cranky again. Toodaloo, my lovelies. Until next time, I am your host, Hades, Lord of the Underworld, yon most sarcastic god of all time. Hello.